Welcome to Arena of History. I'm Professor Stephen Arms. The United States is at a crossroads as to what kind of nation we are going to be. We are faced with a struggle as to whether we will continue as a democratic republic or become a socialist autocracy. Autocracy is a nicer way of saying dictatorship. Leftist and anarchist forces, but I really repeat myself, in this nation wish to make us into a globalist socialist system of government. Though corporate might be a more accurate word, in which speech and rights and ideas are regulated by enlightened, quote unquote, groups of intellectuals, quote unquote. Reality will be what they choose it to be, and we will thereby be compelled not to believe basic truths, and will be expected to accept the nonsense they tell us as fact. A good example of this is that mammals propagate through sexual reproduction, which is the process, as we learned in biology, in which new organisms are created by combining the genetic information of two individuals of different sexes, male and female. Humans are mammals, ergo humans have two sexes, male and female, and create offspring through sexual reproduction. Simple, logical science. To disagree with this basic certainty means you're either crazy or a fanatic, or you suffer from nincompoopery, and I don't know if there's a cure for that. Yet the left denies and rails against this fact constantly. They do this to create customized victimhood so individuals, generally minorities, will continue to give them political power. Power is first and foremost what they desire. Now, I'm not going to attack the ridiculous falsehoods put forth by the left today. I'll be taking that on in future videos, so stay tuned. I wish to speak today on the preferred method to stop this crazed political despotism, the ballot box. At this point, I will probably get in trouble with YouTube, and if censored by them, they will prove that they are not a publisher, in which case you need to go look for me at locals.com. I would be happy to join in any class action suits being put forth by others who have suffered from this form of discrimination. Okay, so here goes. In 2016, the election of Donald Trump was nearly unilaterally portrayed by the Democrats as tainted, and that Trump was not the legitimately elected president of the United States. Russia, the Mueller investigation, and 2 impeachments later, and Trump is still president. Fast forward to 2020. A number of obvious election irregularities occurred in many key battleground states. State election laws were altered unconstitutionally. Using the excuse of COVID, a massive amount of poorly regulated and unverifiable mail-in ballots were implemented in several Democratic-controlled states. There's ample reason to question the results of voting in 2020. Yet attempts to do so are quashed by courts, politicians, the press, and social media. Even stating my observances now is likely to lead to an attempt to censor this video, despite the fact that several states, Arizona and Georgia come to mind, are still investigating the results of this election. What we as Americans need to do is vote and do all we can to make sure that we have free and accurate and fair elections. We may not get the result we want, but we need to get an accurate result of what the citizens of the United States want, not the corporations, not the social media giants or their lackeys in the press want, but what we the people want. Only citizens of the United States have the right to sculpt this nation into the more perfect union that the Constitution promises. So register to vote, and support and campaign for those running for office who stand for the ideals that made this nation great. Push your electors to put in place common sense voting safeguards. Having to prove who you are to vote is the best way to ensure your vote will be accurately counted. Only bigoted fools believe that certain racial or ethnic or geographic groups can't get IDs. To the Democrats, if you're not a left coast elitist, then you're people of the common clay. You know, morons.
You know, morons.
We must be vigilant to ensure accurate elections, because those in power are unlikely to do it for us. I would like to believe that the Republican Party will help save us, and honestly, with the crazy left controlling the Democrats, they are our best political hope. But Republican politicians need to remember that they are not invertebrates, and put aside their cowardice in the face of ridicule and actually fight for this nation and the people that they're supposed to represent. And I'm not trying to depress anyone watching this, but the push to socialist autocracy has been going on longer than my life, which is a really long time. FDR's New Deal created a bigger government than ever. Lyndon Johnson's Great Society thrust Marxism into the United States, pitting us versus them, bourgeoisie versus proletariat, poor minorities versus the rich. A conservative weakness is that we believe that people are mostly good. I believe that and consider it a positive thing. We tend to forget that even if most are good, how many petty little dictators does it take to ruin a nation? We as conservatives also want to respect the opinion of others and preserve free speech. Always remember that would-be tyrants need to control speech, because if you control speech, you control thought. So in the end, my message to all Americans who love this nation is to become part of the solution. Vote, become politically active, stand up for the truth. Having said that, there's nothing wrong with being skeptical. For example, I'm vaccinated, but there are abundant reasons to doubt the mandates/edicts of the CDC. They have become political and are assisting leftist Democrats to limit our liberty. COVID will be used to rule our lives as long as Democrats need bogus mail-in ballots to win elections. The cancel culture of the left looks formidable. Bullies always try to act tough, but bullies are cowards, and cowards run when forcibly confronted. It's up to us to defend our liberty, so be brave and don't let the would-be tyrants win.
If you wish to join the quest for knowledge, the battle for truth, please hit the like button, recommend my channel to others, and of course, subscribe. Thank you kindly.